Greetings, Cyberdogs. This is ReNDoG coming at you in another episode of Minecraft Survival from the Hermitcraft server. We're kicking things off today, my friends, with a little bit of TNT action here in the Fantasy District. I mean, seriously, who doesn't love a little bit of TNT in the morning? Am I right, guys? I've attempted to set up a bit of a controlled explosion over here, and I use the term controlled very loosely. That little bit of TNT over there is hopefully going to create a nice big hole for us here on this portion of the Fantasy District. I got Rambo out. It's a flaming arrow bow, which should be able to set that TNT off quite nicely. A quick caveat before we pull the trigger over here, guys. This could potentially go horribly wrong because it was set up by me. But hey, we've come this far. Let's give it a go. Let's have a look if we can hit that TNT with Rambo. Okay, first shot failed. Second shot on the money. Not quite. Third time lucky. And did we get it? No. All right, fifth time lucky. Can we get a big bada boom? No. Oh my goodness. Attempt number 8. Come on, Rambo, you can do it. And boom, very nice. Let's have a look if this is going to go the way we wanted to. And there the chain of explosions goes. Very, very good. Oh man, perfect. Looks like our controlled explosion hasn't quite gone to plan, guys. There's some broken redstone at the bottom of this pit, and that is not a good thing. However, I don't think that I've blown up anything too important over here. And, well, I definitely have achieved my goal, which was to try and blow a hole from the surface of the Fantasy District down into our spiral sorting system here in the Fairy Pirate Grotto Cave of Awesomeness. And, yeah, it's certainly blown a hole, which is a good thing. However, down here, there's a little bit of damage that has been done, and this is kind of annoying because this was a little machine that I wanted to get going for today's episode, which looks like I'm going to have to rebuild, which is a little bit of a derp. But at least that's a win. Upon further reflection, my friends, this is a very good example of why one should not mess with TNT first thing on a Monday morning. This could have gone so much worse, guys. I've just realized that very close to the walls of this giant crater is some very delicate redstone work that we have installed for our auto smelting facility. And if we had blown up any of that auto smelting facility, I think I might have rage quit Minecraft for at least 2 weeks. Luckily, the explosion went pretty well, and I'm rather pleased with the results over here. What I'm trying to do is actually kind of interesting, guys. I had a little bit of an epiphany yesterday when I was in the bath. I was, busy washing and doing things that you do in the bath, and suddenly I realized that there is a way for us to make our storage facility a little bit more efficient. While I was soaking in the bath, I realized that the only way that we're going to be able to casually add items into our storage facility is by going down into the ravine via this entryway over here and dropping items into the pool of water. And to me, that sounds like a pretty big waste of time, especially considering the amount of months that we are going to be playing on this server, right? So I kind of had a little bit of an epiphany. Why don't we blow open a hole from the surface all the way down into our storage facility? And of course, the way that this storage facility is designed is that all we need to do is get some items to land in the water pool below, and then all of the items that land in there are going to get automatically stored. So now we've got a hole all the way from the top to the bottom, and as we're working on the Hermitcraft server, we can just drop items off into the hole and, rest assured that they will get stored. Now, one of the problems with TNT craters in Minecraft, guys, aside from them being ridiculously fun to create, is that they are exceptionally ugly. And there is absolutely no ways in hell that we can leave this giant hole looking like this on the Hermitcraft server. I got some sweet plans to transform this into something absolutely epic out here in the Fantasy District, guys. We're going to be doing that today, but first things first. I've got some really exciting news to share with you about our storage project. Sit back and relax, my dudes. Get yourself a tasty beverage, crunchy frickin' snack, because we got some awesome jazz to get up to on the Hermitcraft server today. Can you tell that I'm excited? Redstone coming out the wazoo, everybody. My goodness. Looking at all of this redstone really hurts my soul, guys, because I have spent so many hours over the last week down here in this facility. But I got some great news for you about this particular project. I'm going to need a sip of tea before I can continue, though. Hold on. There we go. That's actually a sip of celebration, guys, because the good news is every single one of our item filters has now been installed here in our spiral sorting system of doom. There's only one more to install, and it's kind of an historic moment for me here on the Hermitcraft server, because this is by far the most tedious and difficult project that I've worked on so far in Season 6. And I am exceptionally proud to announce, guys, we have got storage in Season 6 of Hermitcraft. Every single one of these has now been automatically filtered, and we can now start using our spiral sorting system like nobody's business. And I tell you what, guys, I couldn't be more happy with this, man. It has been one heck of a grind for the ReNDoG. So pleased that we can finally start moving on to the part of making this project look really, really good, because at the moment, it looks absolutely terrible. Now, the more astute of you ReNDoG viewers out there may have noticed a couple new pillars of jank appearing here in the spiral sorting system. And yes, you would be right. We've got these massive, janky pillars of squareness now in our storage system. And, well, they look absolutely hideous. However, they are functioning in a very interesting way, guys. I have figured out a way for us to get from the top of our storage system to the bottom of our storage system at a little bit of a quicker rate, and we are now using bubble vators to do that. Take a look at this. If we go into this particular bubble vator, this is going to take us all the way down to the 3rd floor, I believe. Yes, this is for floor 3, or the floor where we get wooden items from. And if we want to get all the way back up to the 1st floor, we're going to use this bubble vator that will send us all the way up back to the top. Very good. Now, the problem with this particular system, guys, is that we need quite a few bubble vators to take us all the way down to the bottom. And first things first, what I'd like to do today is install a bubble vator with you guys that is going to take us from the 2nd floor of our storage facility all the way down to the bottom of our storage facility. So it's a little bit of a janky elevator system that we've got going on over here. We can go from floor 1 to floor 3, or from floor 2 to floor 4. And we can also go from floor 3 back up to floor 1. Or something like that. Listen, it works, okay? Now, the reason that I've gone with bubble vators as our primary transport mechanism in our storage facility, guys, is mostly thanks to an amazing inspirational comment from one of you guys out there. Somebody suggested trying to find a way to link our storage facility with our auto smelting facility, which is all the way up there somewhere. And, well, that got my brain ticking, and I've managed to install a pretty cool bubble vator that goes up and down from our auto smelting facility. Take a look at this. We're going to ride the lightning, so to speak, or ride the bubbles all the way up to this position. We don't even have to turn around in the bubble vator, and this is going to bring us out directly into our auto smelting facility over here. Pretty cool, right? If we want to get back down into our storage facility, of course, we are going to ride the bubbles the other way around. We don't even have to turn around. We just face the same direction, get to the bottom. Boom, baby. We are back in the storage facility. So thank you for that amazing idea. That has really helped to transform our spiraling staircase into, well, a little bit of a less janky spiraling staircase. And in other bubble-tastic news, my friends, I've actually discovered it's quite easy to make a bubble vator if you follow a very simple formula. And it all begins with the humble bit of soul sand. Of course, what we need to do to create a bubble vator is make a vertical column of water sources. And when I first started thinking about that, I thought, man, that is going to be a pain in the butt. However, if we use soul sand first, we can literally ride on top of the bubbles as we create our vertical water source. So take a look at this, right? We stick our soul sand down, put a little bit of water on top of it, and that's going to push us all the way to the top of that water source. Next up, we'll just add the next water source, and as you can see, we will always be on top of the last water source that we added. All right, Bubblevation successfully installed into both of these columns here, guys. But of course, we need to reverse the suction of one of these bubble vators, and we're going to make this one the exit. So this is going to be the bubble vator that brings us from the 2nd floor all the way down here to the 4th floor. And it's pretty easy to do that. All we're going to need to do is add a little bit of a magma block on top of that soul sand, and that is going to reverse the suction of the bubble vator. Yeah, you can see there we're being sucked down into the bottom. So there we go. Beautiful. Now, there is a slight problem with our little bubble vator transport system, guys. It's a little bit difficult sometimes to remember which bubble shaft goes where. So I've been trying very hard here to label the different elevators as best as I can. The exit elevators, where possible, don't have a door in front of them. So in this situation, it's kind of obvious that this is not usable from this floor. And if you want to go down, this is going to be the one that takes you down, right? The same applies to some of the others. As you can see here, this is an entrance shaft, but this one, of course, is going to be an exit only. And in this case, we do have to have a door because we need to keep those water sources in place there. So the system isn't categorized as the best as it possibly could, but I think that it is intuitive enough to use. And I'd very much like to give this bad boy a test run just to make sure that it is not sort of redundant in places. I think I've done this pretty well though. So let's give this a try, right? We're at the top of our storage system over here, and we need to get down to level 3. And to do that, we're going to need to go into the bubble vator that takes us down, which is over here. Now, if we shoot all the way down to the bottom, this is going to bring us out to the tree area. And potentially what we could do at the top of this bubble vator is add some signage or something, maybe some item frames with a log in it to show us that coming down here will take us to the tree area. And of course, this gives us access to a whole bunch of other blocks all the way around here. Now, say, for example, we have gotten what we need from down here. We're looking for some redstone. Actually, we do need to get ourselves a dropper because I blew it up a little bit earlier on in the episode. So there we go. We got ourselves a dropper, and now we want to get all the way back up to the top of our storage facility. We're going to take the entrance over here, and that's going to take us all the way up to the second floor, I believe. Yeah, that's going to take us up to the second floor. And if we want to get all the way up to the top, we are just going to take this bubble vator, and boom, we have now managed to get all the way up to the top without having to use ender pearls and all of that sort of nonsense. So that is actually pretty good, guys. I think this has worked out kind of nicely. Quick update on the HRN project, guys. A ton of progress has been made on the Hermit Railway network this week, and a big news coming from Doc M77, who asked his viewers to come up with a logo for the HRN, and a Twitter user called Happy Whale has come up with an absolutely amazing logo, which I love. And what you can see here, of course, while we're watching this construction time lapse of the Circle Line in the medieval district, is a giant chunk map with the new logo attached that Doc and I are going to create here on the Hermitcraft server. I absolutely love this logo. It's got a real classic feel to it, but I love the way that it sort of represents the different lines crisscrossing each other, and a big thanks to Happy Whale for this amazing design. I absolutely love it. It's perfect. Oh, this be some tasty jazz, Cyberdog dogs. The Circle Line of the medieval district is now completed, and we're going to go on a quick journey from the medieval district station all the way over to the modern district station. And the key thing about this, of course, is that we get some excellent views of the server as we travel across this line. As you saw in that time lapse, I've just installed all of the redstone lamps that travel all the way along this super long section of the Circle Line, represented, of course, by the orange glass running down the center of the line. And gotta say, guys, it turned out real good, man. We got a beautiful view here of the Civil War battle scene, as well as a beautiful view of the backside of the shopping district. And man, super excited to see the HRN project coming together slowly but surely, my friends. We are getting there, and well, the biggest roller coaster ever created in Hermitcraft is one step closer to completion. Now, say what you will about the ineptitudes of our storage system, guys, but one thing is for shizzle. This bad boy is going to do a great job at sucking up and storing the thousands of items that we have gathered in Season 6 so far. We're going to be using a little bit of redstone to help us out with this, though, because, well, we're going to literally be putting thousands of items into the system, and there is a very big chance that we are going to get a little bit of clogging here at the very beginning of our storage system. We've got about 8 hoppers or so over here, which, of course, have a limited item inventory, and that means if we have, I don't know, 100 stacks of items sitting on top of these hoppers, there is a chance that they are going to despawn before they actually enter the system. Now comes the fun bit, my dudes. We are going to be using a little bit of janky redstone over here to help us get all of the items from these shulker boxes into our sorting system below. And basically what I've set up here is a very simple comparator clock that is going to be triggering this dropper as items travel through this hopper over here. I've also made a very poor attempt at automating this delivery process over here, guys, by installing a small hopper chain, which is hopefully going to function the way that I want it to. Here's what I'm thinking, right? I would like to plug in a whole bunch of these shulker boxes into our hopper chain, and obviously the hoppers below the shulker boxes are going to start sucking items out of the shulker boxes, and what should be happening over time, as you can see, the items are going to start traveling through this hopper, and the dropper is going to start spitting them into the water flow below. Now, the reason I'm doing it this way is to sort of slow down the amount of items that are going to be entering into our sorting system over here. We're kind of doing one item a tick, so I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 items a second, and that should allow our sorting system enough time to send those items out through these hoppers and not get clogged up over here. Let's have a look. Are any of these hoppers getting clogged up? No, so that's actually perfect, right? Looks like the item flow is at a perfect speed. Of course, this is going to take a really, really long time to do, especially considering the sheer amount of shulker boxes that we need to plug in here. But if I get a shulker box plugged into each one of these hoppers and, well, spend the rest of the afternoon AFK, I suppose, or I guess working on our brand new crater hole above, eventually all of the items from our shulker boxes will end up stored in our storage facility, and then we can finally say that we have storage in Season 6. Nice! It's rain and jank. Hallelujah, it's rain and jank. Oh, this is gonna take so long. That is so freaking sweet, dudes. Seeing all of the items shooting up from the pit into the storage facility. Yeah, the nerd inside me just did a backflip. I'm back from lunch, guys, and the good news is the system is still ticking away over here. The bad news is this is going to take forever. While I was shoveling some food in my face, I did some calculations. It takes about a minute or so for the system to deliver a stack of items into the collection pool below. And as there are 27 stacks per shulker box, it takes about 27 minutes per shulker box. We've literally got something like 100 shulker boxes to get through. So that is a lot of minutes required to complete this task. I'm going to try and speed the whole process up by a factor of 2 by installing another hopper chain over here and another item ticker. And yeah, we are now adding twice as many items into the system as before. And hopefully that's going to complete the task a little bit quicker. But yeah, still gonna be a long afternoon, I think. Now, thankfully, we are the only hermit on the server right now, guys. This whole process is actually starting to create a little bit of lag. I really hope no hermit logs on for the next couple of hours because we still have thousands of items to get through. There's one more derp check that I want to make, though, before I go AFK for a couple of hours, and that is, of course, our trash bin over here. I want to make sure that items are landing up over here, and yes, Cactus Green is here. That was added a little bit earlier on, and here comes a bit of cobblestone, which is slightly concerning. That should be going into the cobblestone chest above, but the fact that we are seeing items landing up here means that our sorting system, or should I say our hopper chain, is functioning correctly, and that's really, really good news. I do want to go make sure, though, that the cobblestone filter isn't broken, because that doesn't look good. But so far, so good, guys. Okay, I think I figured out what's going on with the cobblestone over here, guys, and I think it's simply because we are adding so many items into the sorting system at one time. The cobblestone filter is the very first filter here in the system, and, well, as you can see, the hopper above it in the hopper chain is completely clogged up with items right now. I think basically what's going to happen is a few cobblestone blocks are going to get through the system. They're not going to have a chance to go into the filter here. And, well, I don't think it's the end of the world. At the end of this whole process, we can go to the trash bin and do a little bit of cleanup of the items that we want in the system. But, yeah, for now, it's time to AFK, and we'll smell you guys when these two hoppers stop pooping, which is going to be in a very long time. Yep, the droppers are still pooping, guys, and I suspect the poopage is going to go on for at least another couple of hours. We are approaching the 3rd hour now of item delivery into our sorting system, but that's totally okay, guys. I've been chilling outside here working a little bit on what we started off this morning with, and that is some sort of a way for us to drop items into our system from the overland. The idea is that we've got a bit of a hole here that we're going to be able to queue items into, and And, well, those items will eventually end up in the sorting system. But, guys, while I've been working on this, I've had a little bit of inspiration, which is going to change the direction of the idea that I have out here. At first, I wanted to create a little bit of a rock formation here. You can see I've got a bit of a rock bridge going over the water flow here. This, of course, is a river that comes all the way from the ocean, and I don't really want to block the water off. I want to make sure that the natural flow continues. But looking at this, I got super inspired to create maybe something a bit more interesting than some big giant rocks. I want to create a massive dragon skeleton in this area, and the place that you throw the items into the sorting system is in its mouth or its eyeball or something like that, right? You guys picking up what I'm putting down over here? Oh man, it's going to be freaking sweet. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to have enough time to do that in today's episode, but you can already see that there is almost like a skeleton shape forming out of these rocks that I have used, and I don't know, I think that's going to be way more interesting than just a cave hole over there, and it kind of fits the fantasy district theme quite nicely. So next episode we'll crack on with a little bit of creative work out here, guys. But yeah, guys, that's gonna do it from the ReNDoG today. Thank you for hanging out with me here in the fantasy district, and if you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to hit the like button. That's not my face, there's my face. And if you haven't subscribed yet, guys, please hit the subscribe button and join the ReNDoG community. Thank you very much for watching, guys. ReNDoG signing out, and we'll smell you all in the next episode.